New dress code for the IT department, of one person. Not my story. Written for dramatic effect but not exaggerated or fabricated. TLDR at the end. The backstory: father-in-law works for a heavy equipment manufacturer. Highway making equipment. Machines for gold and gem mining, etc. The machines aren't really relevant to the story. Only that they're big and scary enough that everyone is very strict about safety. Well, almost everyone. This company has one IT guy. He does everything from web admin to the ID badges to, the printer isn't working, so obviously he needs an office with a computer. Only problem is, most of his job is keeping the ancient assembly line machines on life support. So he's constantly on the factory floor fixing error code TI-86 on machine C137, etc. The problem: one day, one of the VPs of ass-kissing deigns to leave the plush veneer of the C-level suites to enter the plebeian office, and takes great offense to the IT guy wearing jeans, boots, and a high-vis vest in their strictly suit and tie office. Protests about his job duties fall on deaf ears. And since the IT department of one person doesn't have an official C-level officer, VP of ass kissing decides to write a new dress code for the IT department. Suit and tie at all times. No exceptions. IT guy shows up the next day in a suit and tie. Tries to fix an error on the factory floor. And, rightfully, gets turned away at the door for lack of safety gear. He spends a few days in his office goofing off while the errors on the factory floor grow and grow. The fallout: finally, around 3 a.m. one night, big production line X goes down. This is a huge contract for the company. The company might go under if this client goes elsewhere. As such, emergency procedures state all C-level execs and even the owner must be notified immediately if this line stops at any time for any reason. So the upper echelon of the company, including VP Ass Kisser, assembles in the boardroom to prepare for their firing spree. Around 5 a.m., IT guy is ordered to the boardroom where they really lay into him before they fire him. Threats of blacklisting him in the industry. Threats of lawsuits for damages, etc. Of course, there's the condescending, "Now what do you have to say for yourself?" question. The mic drop. He unfolds a few pieces of paper from his pocket and puts them on the table in front of the owner. "This is why I have to wear a suit and tie no matter what. This was my objection because I have to do my job properly. This is the safety officer refusing me entry for lack of safety gear. And this is the record that VP Ass Kisser got my emails but never responded." Not a pin drop or a cricket chirp could be heard. Just the faint ruffling of pages as the owner read. Finally, he spoke. "Your so-called dress code is officially revoked. VP Ass Kisser is no longer allowed to have any authority over you. Please put on safety gear and fix machine -421 takas. The rest of us will stay here all day until I'm convinced that this problem will never happen again." VP Ass Kisser kept his job. He was very good at his namesake, after all, but he was transferred to VP of a division that didn't exist in a workforce of one. Only him. Rumor has it he's related to the owner somehow. But at least his self-righteousness can't ruin the actual work being done. TLDR. IT guy needs to wear safety attire to do his job on a factory floor. Random VP is furious he wears that gear in his own office. And makes a company policy requiring him and him alone to wear a suit and tie at all times. Policy backfires because IT guy can no longer fix the ancient manufacturing computers. And production screeches to a halt, potentially costing the owner his entire business. I really hoped the fallout would be greater for the VP Ass Kisser. Awesome story though. See exec. You caused this horrible problem. As a result, you're fired and blacklisted in our industry. Worker. Actually, this VP is the one responsible. See exec. Oh. Well, we'll give his own department a raise then. It guy, why are you not at your post? Rolling on the floor laughing. I had similar for a short while but thankfully was extremely short-lived. My answer was simply, can you tell me exactly which days I will or won't have to crawl into a crawl space, under a desk, or into the ceiling? Are you willing to put in writing that I won't have to do any of that work regardless of how critical it is if I show up in a button-down and slacks? If not, jeans and polos are easy to clean, so that's what I'll wear. They stopped trying to talk to me. This was a good bedtime story, thanks. Minus 421 takas. Why aren't you at your post? Minus 421 takas, do you copy? I love the Stormtrooper reference. This is why an audit trail is important. Don't trust anyone that won't put things in writing. Excellent use of CYA there. Highly commended. IT company I worked for won a subcontract for the whole of IT from a large prestigious airline, and was therefore treated within the company as a flagship contract. The order went out that all IT employees had to wear white shirt, suit and tie. IBM-style clones. Disciplinary and sackable offense. We protested to our manager but it was out of his hands. This was orders from the very top down. But then a couple of months later the owner, managing director wanted to come and look over his shiny new flagship contract. Through the airline we got him appropriate passes to visit all the parts of the airport where the airline had IT that we worked on. He turned up and we started the tour through the aircraft hangars with all the engineers wearing boiler suits. Clambered through the baggage hall with miles of dusty and oily baggage belts with baggage handlers in work-type trousers, polo shirts and safety boots. Visited the outside to head of stands with everyone else wearing inclement weather gear. Wandered through cargo hall with pallets of goods being split and repackaged in a warehouse-style area, again with everyone else in work clothes and boots. And several more areas with no one else wearing suits, because of course not. Only after that whole tour, and somewhat disheveled, dusty, oily, salty and rather damp, did we then take him to the airline's admin offices with their clean, air-conditioned and carpeted areas and people working in suits and skirts. To be fair to the man, he followed us gamely, even enthusiastically, and never once complained throughout the whole day. But just days later there was a new instruction direct from his office that we could now use best judgment for what to wear according to the local environment. Wearing a tie on a factory floor can be a death sentence. What a stupid prick-ass kisser is. Well, seems that VP-ass kisser just got moved to the right department for him, the rimming room. Even the most ignorant person should be able to deduce that neckties near an assembly line are a really bad idea. Meanwhile at my workplace, team lead, did you finish all the testing on the machine? Me, no, the suits were visiting. Team lead, so, does that mean you showed them the current state of things? You know they are quick to jump to conclusions and you really should follow the official process. Me, no, I didn't show them anything. But they kept coming onto my machine's safety zone. Lines on the floor you are not supposed to pass without permission plus safety gear. And even touching parts. So obviously I had to keep it powered off. Sounded like a sales pitch though. So I just kept quiet and looking busy. Team lead, that's probably for the best. I'll do my best to keep the suits away so you can work. Me, thanks. So I was testing a new feature in untested software on untested hardware, which has the possibility of quick and sudden movements. Suddenly a suit appeared out of nowhere and put his hand in the middle for no reason, which could have easily led to broken bones. They laugh, saying I'm overly cautious. All our machines have safety mechanisms on there. Yes. All finished machines. What do they think R&D does? Think them up and will them into existence fully formed? I'm not gonna call them out in front of potential customers, but you bet the safety officer will be getting a note. That suit and tie crap needs to die. I worked in a place that insisted on that nonsense. After 5 years I got them to drop the ties but still dress shirts and slacks. We were overdressed for every single customer meeting. Everyone wore jeans unless it was a bank. It's just irrational boomer dogma. Don't fuck with the IT guy. Damn. Other than the VP. Even our upper management IT wear casual clothes because they may be crawling around a server room floor or unpacking boxes in the IT warehouse on any given day. I'm so glad the IT guy didn't try fixing a machine and getting his tie caught or some other horrible accident. This needs posting to our Tales from Tech Support. This is an excellent example of CYA as well.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.